Alrighty viewers, if you saw my first all-cup tour run, you'll saw that I scored 111 points out of a possible 160 points. And on today's video, I still did not score under 100 points like I really want to do, so I'm still pursuing that goal. But this one, I end up coming in 8th place on 2 different races, as the title would suggest. And I did score a little bit more than 111 points like I did my first run, so I guess that is a little bit not as cool, because I always want to score, less and less points than the previous run. But I just thought it was pretty unorthodox that I came in 8th place twice out of the 16 races and still managed to catch up to the top 2 leaders of the pack in the points in the rankings, and still take the gold all-cup tour trophy. So lots of good stuff going on in this video and this run. This is my 5th attempt out of 5. And those, I might make a video posting the highlights from some of the previous runs, because I had some close calls. I had some very good races, some great moments on some of the tracks, so I'll have to sort through that footage. But anyways, the challenge here is simply just to win in the all-cup tour, but not score a high amount of points overall. So like I said, the total amount of points you can score is 160, but my goal here is to keep scoring less and less. And in my previous run, I only came in first place once out of all 16 races, and so in the future I'm pursuing not scoring first at all in the all-cup tour races and still winning. But that is a very hard challenge, as well as scoring under 100 points and still winning. So we're still pursuing those, but Double Dash, still my favorite game. If y'all enjoy, just enjoy this really long 47-minute video. The only time I post a long video, if it's something like this, where I feel I need to show the whole run through and through and not just the highlights. And also, I like to go back for my personal sake and kind of study throughout the race, like what could I do to maybe do the race differently so it would work out with my challenge. So for example, whenever you pick a cart and a characters, so I'm playing with that Birdo cart, which I think is kind of funny because I never ever see people use the Birdo cart on YouTube. And I have Luigi and Koopa because of their special items. So as y'all probably know, in Double Dash, Luigi and Mario they have the fireball. So Mario's is reddish orange and Luigi's is green, and the fireball is very effective. Sometimes I'm super unlucky, and when I throw it out and when it spreads out into like 5 different fireballs, it somehow misses my target. It's just really uncanny how that works, but usually it'll hit your target. And also, if you have multiple targets in front of you that you're trying to hit, that's also good for using fireball. And then I have the red Koopa with the wings, because if you don't know, the special item for him is triple red shells, and his sibling, the green Koopa, doesn't have wings, so it's not as cool, right? And that one, you can only get triple green shells, I believe. I'm not quite certain, because sometimes I do get triple green shells with the red Koopa, so don't quote me on that one, but I always just choose red Koopa anyways, because I want to be for sure guaranteed to get the triple red shells, because obviously having 3 red shells in one with one character, and then I could hit the double box and get another red shell to have a total of 4 red shells, because I've never seen a double box give me 3 red shells in another round of 3 red shells. So maybe if I bet both Koopas I could have 3 red and 3 green. That is still remains to be seen, because sometimes I do get the triple red shell and Luigi's special green fireball. So where I'm going with this is that their items are very important, because when I choose these characters, it always ends up on the 150cc class, or just any class in general, but you have another set of characters on their cart, and they'll be way faster than all the other characters, and so they'll constantly be winning first place or second place. And then you have another cart with another 2 racers, and they will be winning second or third constantly. They're like the 2 fastest racers out of all. And then the other 5, and then there's me as that other, last 8th cart. But the other 5 computers, they're all really slow. So what I'm trying to do is get the first 2 fast racers to not place in first or second all the time, but try to just keep knocking them with items to knock them back in the rankings. But the problem is they're really fast, so they'll quickly overtake those 5 other slow racers very easily. So I gotta hang with the 2 fast racers and knock them back to 3rd, maybe even 4th or 5th for a couple of races. But in doing so, I have to also beat them. So for example, if I got those 2 fast racers to come in 4th and 5th, I would then want to come in 3rd place and have any 2 of the 5 slow racers come in 1st or 2nd, and try to do that as many times as possible. But obviously it's very hard to do, so what I'm kind of relegated to doing is getting the 2 fast racers to keep swapping for first place, because I don't want to take first place, because I want to have the lowest score possible in this challenge. So I end up doing, what I am doing is I have one of the fast racers take first place, I'll take second place, and then the other fast racer will come in 3rd. On the next race, I'll simply swap it so that I still come in 2nd, but that one that came in 3rd the last race, the next race comes in 1st, and then the other one that came in 1st comes in 3rd the next race. So it kind of evens out the points for them. And then I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, just hanging with them through the rankings through all 16 races. And then of course at the very end, I try to beat them by just a single point, or even tie for first place, because when you tie in Mario Kart Double Dash for first place, it goes to you. You get the gold, and then they get the silver or whatnot, so on and so forth. But again, thank you guys for watching. I saw my first All Cup Tour run. Right now it's done like 50 views, which is great if you're watching anything else on my channel, but in the big scheme of YouTube it's not that much, but it's just cool to see. So I love making these videos, and there seems to be a little bit more interest on these compared to my other videos, so it's a win-win. So I will see you all in the next one. Enjoy this run and watch me climb my way back up through the rankings from my 8th place on the first map and on the second map, and eventually take the gold trophy. Peace out.
faster. Oh, yeah. pretty good. Oh, yes. good. Oh yes. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh yeah. Pretty good. Oh yeah.